Hi, what are your details? What's your name?
I'm Julie Shaw and I'm a third year undergraduate at Teesside University studying sociology.
Right, I'm just going to ask you a set of questions about the exhibition. Which artwork in Art LA did you find the most interesting and why?
For me, the most interesting was the interview. For the very reason it's at the angle you see it from. There's lots of hidden views in there, so it makes you want to explore further.
Oh, right.
In depth, there's much detail that you don't see until you look a second and a third time.
Yeah. It's true, yeah. You don't know what's behind.
No,
Pieces
and different angles. Yeah.
Mysterious. The next question, what do you believe that Art LA represents, and is it at all ambiguous?
I think you don't often know the meanings behind it. For me personally, and that's why when I stood in front of them, I stood for a long time, particularly in front of Hidden View and the vision, because it drew you in to see more, to see what more meanings were. And as a sociologist, I operate on a subjective level anyway, so it had many meanings to me. Because I remember buildings in school time when I was at school, because I'm 48 now, and I went to school similar to that. And it brought back a lot of memories, a lot of memories and emotions walking in such buildings.
Yeah. You think about who's thought-provoking, who's been there, what happened, the history behind it.
Yeah, and the footprints of the past, who've been there before.
Definitely. The next question is, do you have any thoughts about the methods used to create the work in Art LA?
I think particularly on the bricks, the transfer on the bricks, I thought was awesome. Because again, the shape of the brick, it draws you in. Because of the sides and the indentation in the brick, it actually draws the eye in. So from a distance, again, from which perspective you're looking and standing, it changes, it looks different. So then you need to go over and be more curious then to find what's even further within.
Definitely, yeah, I agree. I agree with that. There were like people who said comments about them being thought-provoking and everything. What do you feel the exhibition represents in a socio-historical context?
It shows the authority. Those buildings stand very proud and they kind of loom, which was education was an authoritative realm really, and particularly in those days when that was built. So there was order, structure, and when you went into those buildings, I imagine you automatically change and fit the environment.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I felt
to one of control. Really.
It's imposing, and as a child being there, it always was very imposing to me.
Windows are very large, and dark spaces, lots of dark spaces. And in education, it mirrors education, particularly for me, those dark spaces within childhood education.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because things have changed so much now, haven't they?
Yeah.
Have you seen Lower School, and if so, does Art represent it appropriately?
Yeah, I've walked past it when I've been through the Richmond Park there, I've walked my dogs, and I have seen it, and I've often wondered, I didn't know actually what it was, because I'm not from the area, but yeah, it definitely does represent it, because now I knew immediately, if I saw that way, what that is and where it is.
Oh, that's really good, because that's what I was hoping to achieve.
Yeah.
The next question, from seeing the other work for sale in the catalogue, do you believe that the correct work was exhibited, and why?
Yeah, I think that for me this work is well exhibited, and I think because it's really relevant to the area, to the local area, the local history, and I think it's very saleable because it would hang well in this Richmond School of today.
Yeah.
No problem. It has contrast. So I think it's very relevant to the area.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about possibly donating a piece to the school if it's unsold or something.
There and maybe the town hall.
Yeah. Do you feel that the work adhered to historic context that it strives to represent, and why?
Yeah, definitely. I think the colour, everything about it, you could be transported to the day they were built, really, and to when they were in operation in Victorian times.
because of the burnt hedges and the quite
Exactly,
edge,
yeah. I think because of the dark spaces as well. The dark spaces for me is the overwhelming representation of the era.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. I never thought of it from that concept. Was the Georgian Theatre an ideal venue to represent this type of work?
Definitely, because again, because of its historical relevance, all these places would have had some links in latter days. So definitely, absolutely, I thought it was a great venue. It was really bright and airy, had good space, it accommodated a good amount of people, and I just think the paintings and the pictures suited the environment.
Yeah, and they have been accommodated, and also because people are coming to see performances, they come to weddings, they come to the museum, there's other reasons to draw people in apart from the gallery.
Exactly,
so
and I think
there's more people.
Local culture for like theatre, it's well used as theatre, so I think to have its extension and relationship with art is even better.
Yeah, because it covers all of it, and also you can see it from the road, and you can see some of the artwork as you're walking or driving past.
Definitely.
Do you feel the pricing's appropriate?
Yeah, I do actually, because these are unique pieces. They're not mass produced.
No.
There won't be any others, and each one is unique to itself because they've been created at a time of various emotion, and the emotion is never stagnant. It changes and fluctuates.
It does.
So each piece, the emotion is contained within. From what I saw, then that's my subjective brain.
Yeah, because I've been told to price things quite high, but I wanted artwork to be accessible for everybody, because there's people that can't afford. And I think they should be able to afford it. It shouldn't just be something for the rich.
And I think it's something as you go along in time, the more you create the various price and will come along what feels right to you at the time.
Yeah, definitely. What are your views regarding the titles of the artworks?
I think the hidden view was really apt because it did draw you in, and the title itself is very emotive, so it's suggesting there's other things behind there, so the viewer wants to go in and explore for that. And then the vision, it is a vision of that building. If you stood in front of it and you look up, it's huge building, very grand. In perspective to the person standing below, it is a vision.
Well, some of them are very personal, named after people that were prominent in the school, and people who were there at the time I was will relate to it. And for example, Art Alert, that was the title of the exhibition, and it's the name of the art room, and it also
where you began?
Yeah, because I've started later on in life doing this. Did you prefer the bricks, the coloured work, or the monotone work?
I like the monotone work again because of the dark space. The dark space is very relevant to me. It seems to be a repetitive theme when I was viewing these pictures. It's what came to my mind, the dark space. And then the bricks, I would say the bricks definitely. Because of how they were created.
More evocative in the materials.
Yeah, because they draw you in and they're totally different to anything I've ever seen really.
I think the bricks are probably more personal because, for example, some came from Richmond House, which was a workhouse, and a nursing home, which has got lots of links to people in the town. Then some came from a bus shed and up Gilling Road, and a lot of people, a family member of mine that worked in that industry remembers that. And then there was some from Oswin Grove, slightly outside Richmond. So they've got a souvenir and
so
a piece of artwork.
Strands of relationship to the area.
Definitely. Do you have a favourite artwork and why?
Yeah, again, I think it has to be choosing between the vision and
these two here.
I think the vision possibly again. Because the dark space behind the windows, because I want to go in and explore the dark space, and I think the dark space kind of represents the dark space within.
That's actually yours, isn't it?
Within itself.
That's actually your favourite, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's my mum's favourite as well.
It represents the dark space within itself for me, because I think buildings, again, have features as people do.
Well, I've seen like a pattern forming, like me, you, my mum, all of us, everybody over 40 seems to like the monotone ones, but I've noticed people in the 20s and the teens that have been seem to like the more abstract coloured pieces.
You know, maybe it's because it's postmodern era.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I think as well the style of education, certainly when I was young, probably wasn't that far removed from Victorian conservative values.
It's more abstract now, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think these buildings represent the conservatism.
Yeah, definitely. Conformity.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why I'm drawn to it. Maybe I have like, even though the dark space behind, I have kindred memories from it, and I can relate to it.
Yeah.
That's why.
And the standard of education, there was a headmaster and he was called James Tate, I think it was, and so many of the pupils, I think there was about 30 pupils there at one time, and I think a large percentage of them all went to Oxford, Cambridge or read somewhere.
So I think as well,
and they were called the Tate Invincibles.
right, from schools of the day often looked like that. They all had that in common. They were very structured. They almost looked religious, church-like.
With ecclesiastic features.
Yeah, exactly. And then that meant, you know, that you were well behaved, you were of good character, and you were going to do well and work hard. You know, all the values that is surrounded in conservatism, less focus on the self, more give yourself over to what's required.
Because churches were run by schools that were one and the same,
exactly.
weren't they? Like Gilling School was, I think it might have been C of A, there was St Mary's School, and then there's like Wesleyan schools as well, Methodist.
And I was brought up Catholic, so we were very, very entrenched in those values. You know, when you worked hard, did well, you had self-respect, you always obeyed.
Yeah.
And I think these buildings were a reinforcement of those values.
Yeah, definitely.
Not only from your peers and your teachers and parents, but also from the environment that we inhabited.
Yeah, definitely.
You know.
Yeah. Thank you. Right. Would you attend an exhibition of this nature again?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, loved it.
Do you have any further comments or questions about Art L8?
Well, because I know you personally, so we've had like good discussions about it in the past. But yeah, I think it's awesome. I think it's very, very different. You know, and I think it says a lot about this, not only the sociological environment in Richmond here, but also about the culture of the town in the past, and how it still relates and is relevant to the present.
Yeah,
Definitely. And I think it'd really be good for younger audiences to see these buildings, to see what the meaning is for them in contrast to their education today.
Because it closed in 2011, so unfortunately my youngest child didn't get to go there, and now like even young, I mean they would have heard stories about it, but even like younger children, they're not going to know what it is or anything.
Exactly, and because a lot of these buildings are not used anymore, and we're in modern comprehensive buildings now, and you know, they're kind of light and airy and free. I think children don't understand of education in the past, and it'd be nice to see these exhibited actually in schools.
Well, I did ask to exhibit in there, but there was health and safety issues, but now they're hoping to do something with, there's like a bid going in for the like lottery funding to rejuvenate it and perhaps use it as a community facility. I think that'd be an excellent idea.
It'd be great if you could take these on tour.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you anyway. Thanks, Julie.
You're welcome.
Right.